What up, YouTube? It's your boy Jay Bruce, representing Owning Your Month in Life, and we are back with a banger. Is the Red Pill community conducive to building healthy relationships, lasting relationships, and really being able to help you improve and maybe lead to marriage?
My nigga.
So I saw Advent Preach did a video on this, and I thought to myself as I was watching it, I need to do a reaction to this. Funny thing, I always talk about this in my earlier videos too, about the red pill anatomy of where things start, where it leads up, where it can go, and really what is the purpose behind it, because it's really important to know that anatomy behind it, because then you can break it down into steps, into chunks. So without further ado, let's dive into the video and I'll give y'all my thoughts. Comment down below too what y'all think as well. Let's get it.
In general thing, right? But they often talk about the nuclear family, right? It's like the nuclear family is dying, feminism is killing it or has killed it, and et cetera, et cetera. These women are not built for making families. And I'm like, okay, I'm not mad at it. You can say that a lot of modern changes that we've made to society definitely do not enable us, right, to have the same type of families that we used to have. Agreed?
Agreed.
When you preach to people that they need to get 50 bodies before they can really settle down, how is that contributing to the nuclear family?
Just be careful how you...
I say this in my previous videos and when I'm just talking to people about this topic. It's a lot of the red pillers, I'm not gonna say all of them, but a lot of the red pillers focus on sleeping with a lot of girls, right? It's always been a notion of, if you want me, since I'm very valued, right? I got these, the high income, the job, the status, all that stuff. You gonna have to do this. This is an expectation for them to kind of like bend before you a little bit. And it's like, it's almost become a little self-righteous to where it's like, if you ain't doing this, these gurus be saying like, I've popped this many amount of chicks or whatever. But that don't even help with how to build a successful relationship. Because see, none of that matters when you're involved in a relationship. See, that is the talk that's never really talked about, is how to have a successful relationship. You getting 50 bodies really don't help you at all, because that has nothing to do with nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it has nothing to do with anything. A lot of the red pill community really targets like sleeping with girls and really honing your own male power to overcome the women that you want to get. And it's kind of, it ain't, you ain't got to go in your relationship of 3 years and say, man, you know, I remember when I slept with these 50 girls up, because none of that matters. If anything's gonna hurt you, she probably ain't even gonna want to be with you because you've been with so many people. You know what I mean? So it's like, what are we focusing on here when we talk about this? Because the rhetoric, and I know a lot of people watch the red pill videos like, oh, not all of them talk about it, not all of them talk about it like that. But the rhetoric is there, right? For a lot of these channels, the rhetoric is there of sharing them, 2 wives, multiple girlfriends, stuff like that. So it's not even, it ain't realistic.
My question is, how are a lot of these things in any way conducive to building the nuclear family? Some of these dudes are talking about having like multiple wives and doing all this stuff. Do you think that's the nuclear family?
It's not.
You know, where you got multiple wives, you got to split your time with in different families. How is that contributing to a stable household? You running out here raising your chances of
But
having
I mean, it's something
no,
that you...
but you running out here raising the chances of having your kids out of wedlock with strangers that you don't even know. You only like them for their looks. Like, how is that choosing, one, a good mother for your kids, and two, creating a stable environment for them when you don't want to be with the mother? Like, I just find it funny sometimes.
Yeah, it's crazy, man, because that's exactly what I'm talking about. It's this rhetoric of once you get to a certain point, a certain status. See, they say they focus on, well, the conversation used to start that I liked of the average man and the girl not wanting the average dude and overlooks him and wants to do the status, which really I'm gonna say is not every girl, right? I'm gonna just be honest. I don't know what happened to them, right? I always talk about why did they talk about it? What hurt them? What insecurity, right? Because there's something there. But let's just say when you're talking about that and trying to get these 2 wives, when you're getting there, you're not even focusing on the average man. You're focusing on when you're at your peak. And now you're talking about having 2 wives, and it's not conducive to being a happy life. Because it may be nice for the time being, but when kids get involved and marriage get involved, you can't get married to 2 people. I mean, probably somewhere, but really and realistically, it's what about the kids? What about living a life forever, spending that time, emotional effort for both of these relationships? See, they only talk about getting it, it's like a fantasy. Or once I get it, I'm that man. It's like almost like a title. But then when you think about it, It's a lot of emotional effort that goes into having a successful relationship. It's a lot of work. People don't take into account the amount of work you need to build a successful relationship. It's not just always going to be roses and bubbles. You know what I mean? It's going to be some ups and downs. And if you're really listening to a lot of the red pill rhetoric from all the videos I've seen from all the other creators, it's always to a sense of when it gets too much, it's like, nah, you don't meet my standards, I'm out. You got to obey me. But that's not how a relationship works, bro. I'm gonna just be real. Relationships, I mean, we ain't dating robots. We dating human beings, and it's individuality. You know, so it's always gonna be disagreements. Like if I would even beg to differ. If you haven't had an argument with your friend, you ain't close enough. Because everyone's different to some level. You know, it starts off, well, we have so much in common, but until you don't, right? Until you have that one difference, how do you react to that? So they don't ever talk about that, of how to build that successful relationship. It's almost like a one-sided thing. It can't be, because it's never one-sided.
Where it honestly feels like we're always pulling at two extremes, right? It's like these people are like, the nuclear family. It's like, well, what are you contributing to make sure that that thing is staying intact? You're not, right? It's become now a self-preservation thing from women and from men.
Yes,
right?
Which is understandable.
Right? No, both sides being like, the other's the problem.
And nobody's talking to each
right?
other.
And even you hear them sometimes. You hear ladies be like, girl, you're the prize. You're the best.
Yes, you
right?
hear that.
Guess what?
They'll lower your standards.
Guess what? I started hearing the red pill dudes be like, man, you're the prize. You choose when
It'd be crazy too, because that is exactly what it is. They put it better than anything, right? Because it's always like that. It's almost like he said, when you have these two extremes pulling, they're both hurting each other, right? One person's like, you got these city girls and Cardi B's. Now, I'm not throwing shame on their name, but when they come on stage talking like, you got to get what you want from men. So a lot of that also comes from them being hurt from men. And there's no understanding there, right? Because then there's men who's been hurt by women, and thus breeds the red pill community. And they don't talk about that. They don't talk about, well, I was skipped over at one time or whatever. And because then you get to see where it comes from. Why is this? Why are you so like this? What happened? You know, and then you get a chance to really dive deep into it. But they never dive into the emotional state. Because like I said before, a lot of these red pill community dudes is just hurt. And then they just try to come with this rhetoric to protect them from getting hurt again. And it's again, you ain't going to be able to develop any hard relationship if you're not vulnerable. There's power in vulnerability. And the thing is that is how you become closer with anybody. Through each argument, through each success. But that's the risk of a relationship. The risk of a relationship is you risk yourself getting hurt. However, a lot of times with the red pill dudes, now I'm not going to just go on just on the dudes. There's going to be women too, that the dudes don't ever take the time to clean up the pieces. And same thing with the women. They don't take the time to clean up the pieces from them being hurt, which breeds into them saying stuff like, I'm gonna get what I want out of a dude, or I want this high guy, you know, or the guys are like saying, I want this type of girl, because it's like, if you could go to Build-A-Bear and build a girl, same thing with a dude and build a dude, you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure you would pick the qualities you think you want, and you just to protect yourself from getting hurt, you know what I'm saying? And then that's where I feel like them conversations are happening. Well, if I'm gonna get hurt, I want two girls. If I'm gonna get hurt, I want a dude who makes this X amount of dollars. So it's understanding that, because it's like no one's communicating. And the problem is, like I said before, is you're not really being honest with yourself. You got to deal with you first. The best thing you can give the world is a better you. And when you don't do that, you come up being hurt, and you're giving out hurt energy and hurt solutions to someone else that may have been on the path to getting fixed and getting stomped again. So now they come with I need to be rewarded. You know what I'm talking about? Then you got this talk talking about I am the table, or I am the bag. I got this. You're not. Let's just be real. In a relationship, no one's that one I am legend, I am that guy, like I am that girl. It's a work in progress. You know what I'm saying? Why get in a relationship with a dude with a bunch of money? Eventually, it's not that rewarding. Same thing with sleeping with a bunch of dudes and taking advantage of. It's not rewarding anymore. There comes a point, I know some of my friends, like old friends too, that when they would go around and dogging girls out, and I would talk to them about it, and honestly, they hate when you ask the question, like, hey man, like, how's it feel? And they know it's kind of like one of those things where you're drinking and someone asks you a real deep question, it kind of blows you, you're drunk or blows you high. But I want to ask this, I was intrigued, and out of beating around the bush, the answer really was nothing. It was nothing of substance.
The things that get you to the dance aren't the things that are going to keep you dancing.
No, my car doesn't make me dance.
right? You got the ID to get in. Don't mean you got the skills to keep going.
Oh,
Right? The things that will lead you to having the opportunities to succeed aren't the things that are going to keep you succeeding. Meaning, I might have the great flash idea that's going to make up for a great business plan. But what sustains a business is a completely different set of skills. Why am
I agree with this 100%. We always heard the saying where to keep the fire burning, you got to continue to throw wood in that fire, continue to throw gasoline to keep it going, keep it ignited. And that is like a relationship. What happens when the next tree that you chop down to go and get your wood to go throw into the fire is 2 miles apart? Are you willing to go that length? Are you willing to run there? So if the tree was like 5 feet, it's easy. I'll chop this real quick. But what if it's further each time? Or sometimes it's closer, but it's random each time. Maybe work. The distance between you and the tree is what's the situation going on in your life. Is it work that took you away? Is it you got fired, a death in the family? However it goes, it takes 2 people to be able to keep investing into the fire. So when one person gets really tired from going far to get the wood, the other person can contribute and meet you halfway. I'll take it forward from here. I'll drive the extra distance so we can go and do it together, because it's work. All that red pill stuff and that pickup game is cool, but then at the end of the day, when you're inside of a relationship, it takes a completely different turn, because there's going to be the honeymoon phase is going to go away. You know, the sex is always going to be, all that nice feeling, that will go away. And then you're left with the activity of willingly loving the person, accepting every flaw, living with that person. That takes effort. It takes sacrifice and effort. And no one talks about that. So you'll go there and be so fine talking to the girl, maybe some of y'all, right? I met some people that just try to calculate everything and say, oh, if I do this and do this, she'll smile. And like, nah. But let's just say you are pretty smooth with your words and you're doing everything in these videos that they're telling you, like all the cues and stuff, and it works for you. Again, you're gonna get there and it's gonna be all good first 3 months, 4 months or whatever. And then once things start taking a turn, say they don't coach on that anymore. Once you get past the honeymoon phase, they don't coach on that. So now you're stuck with, shoot, I don't have anybody. Now you're going on instinct. And then you might in your head remember, oh, well, they said this. If this girl doesn't want to compromise, and you're always going to be stuck in phase 1 because you don't know what phase 2, 3, and 4 are like. You don't know what marriage is like, because you're dating to get married. So that takes involved getting to know someone, getting to know what they don't like, what they do like, stuff like that, and being willing to deal with some stuff. Because I'm telling you, as much as people want to think and portray the perfect relationship, it doesn't exist. The perfect relationship is the one that keeps working and keeps on building together, investing together, and then eventually dealing with the problems and living a happy life. However, when somebody's not doing that and there's a giver and a taker, and they got one person that gives, another person that takes, it don't work. The person feels neglected. So both people have to give, both people have to take. So you both got to give 100%. And that is the key, right? Communication and a lot of things that make you uncomfortable is stuff you're going to have to learn to do. So a lot of those red pill theories and the ideology, what I call ideology, is it goes away at a certain point in a relationship. And no one talks about that. Nobody talks about, I haven't met one, right? Haven't seen one that talks about how to sustain it when you're there, because it's individuality. I'll stop it there. So I love what Abba preach. This is one of their golden videos, man. I'll tell you, man, they were dropping knowledge here. And look, I've been talking about this for life, man. Own Your Muffin Life is a channel where I'm developing to really help everyone be the best version of themselves. And I think in order for me to do that, I show people workouts, I show people how to emotionally get better, and I'm still working on myself. I'm not perfect, but at least having this conversation will help you open the door to try to look for the perfect solution if it's not here on this channel. This is Jay Bruce signing out. It's been a pleasure. I'm gonna be diving deep into a lot more videos too, because it's interesting, man. We here to grow. We here to experience this and experience life to the full. So in order to do that, we gotta love ourselves and enjoy ourselves first. See y'all on the next video. Peace.